can global capitalism survive? I would say it hasn't survived. Global capitalism is already a thing of the past. We already live in post-capitalist times, which I describe as techno-feudalism, because we no longer have the distinction between the private and the public, between the state sector and the private sector. Since 2008, capitalism has been kept, or what we call capitalism, has been kept alive by central banks. And the other reason why it's not capitalism anymore is because you have a situation where competition has died through mergers and acquisitions. 90% of the companies in the New York Stock Exchange belong to three companies: BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard.
And we have to start talking more seriously about the rules of the game if we're going to make global capitalism work. It's going to have to, I hope, not change for the better in terms of our recognition of what the problems are in it, or it's going to bring much more harm as operating right now.
There's no reason to believe that our current system is superior to previous civilizational structures, given that like we were saying, there are so many confounding major social and existential issues that are at play right now in the world, and a lot of those issues can be credited to like capitalist decisions, like especially climate change is a result of our industrial choices.
We have climate issues that are increasingly significant. We've seen that in the last few months in various parts of the world. We have despair, economic despair for many parts of the United States and many parts of the world. We have lots of threats from techno-authoritarian regimes around the world. So we're in quite a situation, and this cannot go on. We need to think about a different way and develop a different model, a different operating system for the world.
The markets don't function perfectly. The governments provide public goods and services, but not in a perfect manner, some better, some less good. And we have new challenges that arise all the time. The climate change challenges is probably the most, apart from the military, that we don't hit each other over the head and kill each other. As a society, we have a huge incentive to do so. So, and that requires, of course, good analysis and a good historic thinking also, which is sometimes a bit neglected. We kind of operate on a day-to-day basis, and instead of kind of taking a bit the longer view.
No, I think it's pretty clear that we are entering the post-neoliberal era. To me, the basic premise that capital, goods, and people were on an equal playing field was just always obviously false. If you're a large multinational company, you can move and place workers and tax dollars and wherever you want to. You can, the entire world is your chessboard. If you are a goods producing company, you are somewhat more constrained, but you still have a lot of freedom. If you're a worker, you have very little freedom.
At the end of the day, it's very few people in the society calling the shots for a lot of more people. And so that definitely results in larger inequalities that aren't wealth related. Furthermore, global capitalism has resulted in so many problems that I wouldn't see becoming so big with other forms, just because with global capitalism, I feel you focus so much on the aspect of productivity. It sort of change the way that humans define themselves or define other people as well.
I like to say that people complain a lot about inequality, but a lot of the pressures on the world are consequences of increasing equality. That is, the fact that the poorer countries are catching up means that there's more competition in many industries that were, comfortably stable in rich countries and so on. A second dimension is that there's been a tension between having sovereign policies and having common policies.
the globally integrated economy has become a battlefield for the war between the democratic capitalism of the West versus the autocratic capitalism of China. As autocratic capitalism has proven highly competitive and very resilient and is emerging stronger from the pandemic, to continue competing with it, Western democracies have started to absorb some of its features: repression of labor and economic standards, thinning out of the social safety net. Autocratic capitalism will be our future if we do not change the nature of globalization.
Las corrientes vinculadas en las hegemonías del sur, las epistemologías del sur global, están planteando nuevas formas que trasciendan esta lógica de acumulación capitalista, partiendo de una fuerte crítica sobre esta acumulación capitalista y cómo generar nuevos acuerdos cooperativos. La línea de los nuevos contratos sociales es una línea muy defendida por los movimientos sociales, y así como decía, América Latina en este momento está en procesos de movimientos sociales muy activos. En algunos lugares llegan como se producen como esta lógica de estallidos sociales.